What's up, you guys? Heavy here. Now, continuing our ongoing discussion about the further acceptance and affirmation of cryptocurrencies in the institutional realm, today I want to talk about the beginning of Ethereum Futures trading on the CME. Yesterday, Ethereum Futures began trading on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the second largest exchange in the world. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange, or CME, processes over $1 quadrillion, quadrillion with a Q, $1 quadrillion worth of financial derivatives every year. Today, I want to talk about what the CME is and why it's important, then go over Ethereum futures contracts and how they'll work, and finally, the implications that this has for Ethereum and the cryptocurrency ecosystem as a whole. The CME was founded in 1898 as the Chicago Butter and Egg Company. Since then, they had grown to the #1 exchange spot in the world, only having been overtaken recently by an exchange in Mumbai, India. The CME trades options and futures contracts, and everything from commodities to stocks to currencies and even the weather. Now that we know what the CME is, let's talk a little about these Ethereum futures contracts and how they'll work. These contracts will be traded in sizes of 50 Ethereum coins with a minimum trade size of 5 contracts for 250 coins. At current market value, that is currently worth about $440,000. They will be cash settled, so there will be no physical delivery of Ethereum coins. And as I mentioned earlier, Ethereum is the second cryptocurrency to begin futures trading on the CME. So now that I've talked about how the futures will actually work, let's talk about the implications that this has on Ethereum and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. First of all, this really validates cryptocurrency even more. As we saw yesterday, Tesla made a $1.5 billion Bitcoin purchase. Tesla is currently the largest company to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet. That was a huge move for crypto. And now, with Ethereum futures being traded on the CME, that adds further fuel to the fire and adds further evidence that cryptocurrencies are not only here to stay, but they are the way of the future. And demand for these assets is only increasing. We're currently sitting in front of a tidal wave of new inflows. Last week, before the futures trading began, Ethereum saw by far the highest inflows of any cryptocurrency. They had $195 million in cash inflows last week, and Bitcoin only saw $42 million in inflows. Cryptocurrencies have already seen a huge increase in cash inflows this year alone. In the first 6 weeks of 2021, cryptocurrencies have already seen 36% of the total inflows they saw for the entire year of 2020. If you annualize that out, that means cryptos will see over 300% more money flow into them in 2021 than they did in 2020. And we already saw price rallies in the hundreds of percents in 2020. Imagine what it's going to be like in 2021. I'm telling you, folks, we're just getting into the parabolic part of this curve. And lastly, one of the fears traders had for Ethereum going into the beginning of these futures trading was that Ethereum would see a big sell-off after the trading began. This happened in 2017 with a large dip in the price of Bitcoin after the CME futures began trading. However, that didn't materialize at all. In fact, it went quite the opposite. Ethereum was up over 5% yesterday on the first day of trading. The tides are changing. The old precedents no longer hold up. So to recap everything, the CME is the second largest derivatives exchange in the world. Ethereum is the second cryptocurrency to begin futures trading behind Bitcoin, and Ethereum is currently leading the way in new inflows into the currency. So that's all I have for you today, but it's time for our cold plunge. So let's go on out to the pool. All right, we might be getting into the final days of pre-Bitcoin 50K, but we're still not there. So here goes crypto cold plunge number 22. Just a quick heads up as to what is to come. In a few days here, it's gonna get down to about 19 degrees as the high and 6 degrees for the low. So the pool is gonna get really cold. The air temperature is also gonna get really cold as the low one night is going to be -8 degrees. So I might come out here and do a cold plunge when it's -8. I think that sounds kind of fun. It said frostbite to exposed skin within 15 minutes. So I think that sounds like a good challenge. That also means the pool temperature will probably be in the mid to low 30s, which will also be a good challenge. So just testing myself every day, getting tougher, getting better, and just improving, you know, what I'm capable of doing. So the current air temperature is about 44 degrees. And Bitcoin Bob, can you help us out with our daily temperature update? Thank you. Bitcoin Bob says it's about 46 degrees today.